Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing my settings tour. This is Rust 2023 settings. Feel free to change anything you see in the video to whatever you like. I'll put my PC description in the description of the video. So yeah, let's get started. So this is the options. I have my field of view at 90. You want it the highest possible so you can see the most. Head bob off. Crosshair off. Hurt cross on. Hurt flash off. Compass visibility on. Advanced. This is the FPS counter down here. If it's off, you see the little FPS down in there at the bottom. I personally, if you use the Nvidia thing at the top, this is better in my opinion. It shows ping as well. Off. Bag gifting, I would set to anyone. That way maybe you get lucky and get accidentally bagged in someone's base. These are all just normal stuff. Just whatever you see here. Max Gibbs 0. There's a F1 command actually to turn this to -1 so you see nothing. But 0 is just what I put it on. Creation effects, it's completely up to you. It's the new building update. I personally, it uses a lot of FPS, and I just like the old building better, so I turned it off. And RGB lighting is completely up to you. Let's move on. Here, I just had this. This is completely up to you. Whatever you like. See, it moves the scale around. I have mine on 0.9 just because I like it that way. Actually, I'll move it down a little bit like that. User interface. Show HUD. This is like your toolbar, hotbar. You want this. All this stuff, just optional stuff. Google chat, all that stuff. Audio is completely up to you. I personally like to have my master volume higher than my everything else because I want to hear stuff in game. And voice props is completely up to you. It's the speakers, stuff like that. I just had this on 0 because I was messing around, but it's completely up to you. And sound. You want to make sure you're not using any of these. You want to make sure you're using 7.1 surround if you can, or 5.1 if that's all you can do. But you want to make sure you're not using stereo. Now let's move on to controls. These are just keybinds. Up here is what you're really looking for. Vehicle sensitivity, I like it on 2.0 because flying minis, it makes it easier for me, and scrappies as well. Super good for scrappies, but minis can be a little sensitive sometimes. And yeah, always sprint. Some people like this, some people don't. I don't like holding shift when I'm running. I just like holding W. So that works for me. But yeah, it's completely up to you. Let's move on to the screen. Okay, I use a stretched resolution, as you can probably tell in the video. 1080 by 1080, but I just had this set to whatever. It doesn't really matter because my desktop is set to 1080 by 1080, which I will show you how to do later in the video. I'll show you my Nvidia settings. Full screen, VSync is off. I limit my FPS. I mean, you can put it on 240 or infinite with 0, but I just put it on 141 just because I like it that way. So yeah, there we go. And limit FPS and background. These are all completely up to you, but see down here I have 15 FPS. That's all that does right there. Move on to graphics. This is the big settings right here. Like I said, I'll put my PC description in the description of the video, and you feel free to change any of these out to fit. If you can have a higher end PC, do it. If you have a lower end, edit these. I personally like to just have everything on 0 pretty much, except for tree and object quality, and draw distance on the max. Because draw distance, this will do a big hit on your computer. So if you want to, just lower it to like 2,000 if you can't handle it, but 2,500 is the best one. Graphics quality from like 1 to like 3 or 4, it really doesn't change much except for like the way the stuff looks and walls a little bit. But if you can do it, 5 and 6 is recommended, but I like the extra FPS I get from the 1, and I just personally like the way it looks better. And yeah, you want to make sure right here in the video reflex mode, you want to make sure this is not all for on. You want to make sure it's on plus boost. It will really help you, I promise you. And this is it. So just go ahead and copy this down. Image effects. Everything else is just extra. In my opinion, sharpen is the only one that I keep on. It doesn't really affect your performance hit, as you can see there, and I just like it better. And anti-analyzing I have off. Experimental really doesn't matter, but optimized loading is the big one. You want to make sure that's on. I only have partial, I don't have full. But if you have full, it can be a little laggy and it could crash your game sometimes, but I just put it on partial. All this stuff is just off, and you can turn it off if you need it. And yeah, that's the settings tour. Let's move on to the Nvidia settings. Alright, now we're out of Rust and into the Nvidia settings. To get to this page, right click on your desktop and then go down to the video control panel. Then you should pop up with this. We'll start with the first one. Make sure to click here, and then you can use any of these. I personally have used this in the past, but I personally like this better. You can slide it to balance, quality, or performance. Let's move down. 3D settings. Make sure you copy all these, and obviously change them as you need to. But so image scaling off, all that's off, on, off, and these you can't change. Background max frame rate, I put 120. You can do lower if you need it. It's basically like if you have YouTube running in the background or any other application, it limit it to frame rate. I personally use Opera GX, so I limit it through Opera. But if you use Google Chrome, you can use that. Low latency mode, it's anything you need off. I just put all this stuff off. Remember, you can change anything if you need it. Make sure this is a big one right here. So I had mine. A lot of people, they have theirs on auto select. Make sure your GPU, your graphics card is selected here. Because if it is not selected, you will lose a lot of frame rate, I promise you. And then maximum performance is completely, this is all completely up to you, whatever you want to do. I usually do performance mode on everything, but that's just me. So yeah. We're just going to get here. And it's just asking me that. You're going to say yes to this. I'm just going to say no, so my settings stay the same. Change resolution. Again, this is how you change your resolution. Again, I told you I use 1080 by 1080. The native resolution is obviously 1920 by 1080. So it says native right there. You can change your refresh rate. Custom, I'll show you how to set that up. You're going to do customize right here. You can choose. I have two customs, as you can see, 1280 by 720 and all this. You get custom, create a custom, and then you have all this stuff. You can change it to whatever you like. So yeah, we're gonna cancel that and cancel that, and that's how you get a custom one. So you can scroll down, all your resolutions are here, and you want to make sure you choose the highest refresh rate possible. So yeah, it's cool. Color settings. These are big for Rust because, as you know, Nvidia filters got banned. So this is the best way we can change our monitor color settings. So you want to make sure you choose red for this, 50% brightness, 50% contrast, 1 gamma, 100% digital vibrance, and hue can be 0. Again, the hue, you want it to be 0 because it changes the way things look. And digital vibrance is very good for Rust because you want that at the max. Yes. And yeah, so we'll move down. Rotate display, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, this is good. Okay, if you're using stretch res, you want to make sure you're at full screen, or you want to make sure you're at full screen either way. And here you see I've not changed it from the last time, so I'll go ahead and put it on 1080 by 1080, just like that. You want to make sure this is your GPU, not your display. That's a big one. You want to make sure it's on full screen, and that's really about it for that. Multiple displays does only matter if you have multiple displays. Whatever you play Rust on, as you can tell, this is 1080 by 1080. It's the one I play Rust on. You want to make sure whatever monitor, so F24, you want to make sure that's the one chosen. And yeah, that's it for the Nvidia color settings. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.